Hey, Jill.
Hi, Kelda. Real quick, let me introduce what's happening.
Okay.
Hey, Professor. This is Kristen. This eye patch is because of surgery. It is not a part of my personal aesthetic. And I've enlisted the help of my sister, Kelda, because we're going to go through the negotiation scenario that you put forth about the roommates. We are going to go with roommates in an assisted living facility because we don't think we can pull off college students that well. I think she could, but that's okay. And because this is a very real scenario that was experienced by one and only yours truly, Kelda, we're going to change the names just to make it super authentic. So, rubber baby bubby bunkers. So in the roommate scenario, Kelda's very neat and tidy, and she's very respectable, and she just knows the right way to go. She's a Virgo, by the way. You would have noticed already. And I, Jill, am maybe more casual in the way that I keep a home, and I have a boyfriend that isn't really conducive to the learning environment, even though he's this total sweetheart. I think he's being judged unfairly. So we're going to go through the negotiation where the goal is to transform our conflict into a constructive dialogue that would create agreements that would align with both of our individual lifestyles and needs. So, take one. Negotiation scenarios, take one. Kelda, I think that we've come to a place in life where we're having some issues that really are causing an impasse, and they're kind of affecting our relationship. And so I would like to talk about what are those issues, and maybe we can come to some sort of an agreement about that. How do you feel about that?
I'm so glad you brought this up because I definitely think there's some areas that we could improve our living situation, and that's affecting our relationship. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So who should go first on discussing their needs?
Well, I already made a list of the things that I would like to talk about, and so I think that the most comfortable living environment is a clean living environment. So I would like us to have a clean shared living space. Additionally, I need quiet so that I can relax and study. And then, of course, I always want to have respectful roommate interactions. I would also like to discuss maybe some boundaries around guests in our apartment. And I prefer direct communication. I think that is the clearest way forward.
Okay. I mean, those aren't completely unreasonable goals. I also want to have a comfortable environment that I feel also is supportive of my boyfriend, Eugene. Hi, Jane. I also would like to avoid unnecessary conflict in this situation, and so I believe that flexibility in, say, cleanliness standards could possibly be addressed, and it would be important to me to feel respected because I'm a very busy person, very busy and important person. I make a lot of contributions. So maybe we should talk about some of our common interests. What would you Kelda, like?
Well, I think both of us would appreciate a peaceable living apartment and mutual respect. I think that we would both agree on that. And like a functional roommate relationship.
Well, also maybe having comfort with all of the partners in the house would also be a good thing in this shared space. Does that sound okay with you?
Maybe we should come up with like a roommate contract that includes some guidelines on the things that we've discussed, the chores, the boundaries around guests, things like that. And I do already have like a chore list, and then maybe we could go through it and each of us pick which chores maybe we enjoy and take responsibility for those areas.
I think that sounds really good. Having a chore list I think would take care of a lot of the problems. maybe we need to define like what are the clean enough standards in our chore, our mutually shared chore wheel.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I think that maybe I don't want to not be with my boyfriend Eugene. And what if we had like a set thing, like no more than 3 days in a row, or if he's going to be over here longer than that, maybe we could, I could notify you in advance that maybe he's off for his spring break or whatever.
Well, I would definitely like to know if there's going to be extended stays.
Mhm.
I think that we should limit to like no more than 3 times a week. And that would be like 3 individual nights. If it's going to be extended, I would definitely think that it would be understandable to get that kind of planned out ahead of time.
I feel like that's really good, really good. So, is there anything else, like what other ways do you think that we could kind of touch base and come together? Because this is going really well.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. So, can we like problem solve or brainstorm for that? Like how to kind of touch base?
Yeah, so I love a plan and a schedule. So we could just like pencil in a weekly check-in, just like a 15-minute, because I know you're super busy with all your contributions. So we could just have that. And then maybe some like do not disturb like hours where because as I mentioned, I have my like study schedule.
Yeah.
And so if we could have maybe a shared calendar where then that would just help us both be informed about what's happening in our shared space.
Okay, so quiet hours sounds like a really good idea. Maybe like 10 to 8 or something like that.
Well, that would be the sleeping hours.
So you want sleeping hours and study hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We'll address that at our check-in meeting on Sundays
Okay.
for 15 minutes.
So,
what if we don't do anything? What are some, like, we have been working together and like the whole check-in meeting and like the study hours and the sleeping hours, like, what if we just didn't, like we're kind of doing fine-ish.
I would disagree that we're doing fine-ish. So I'm happy to hear that you're fine-ish. I'm not as fine-ish. So I need I just need like clear expectations and so that I can prepare for my day every day. So I'm not real great with uncertainty.
Okay.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't want that to be the thing. So I absolutely do not want to dismiss what you're feeling. I want you to know that your feelings are valid. I mean, I don't want to I'm not going to bring Eugene over more, because of this. I think we're creating a space that is supportive of all parties involved. And I don't want to really escalate anything, because your breath got real shallow. So I'm thinking maybe you're uncomfortable with this. Okay.
So how do you feel? So to recap, how do you feel about a roommate agreement where we have some things some guidelines laid out?
Yeah, especially on the clean enough. I think that would be really great. So why don't we have a conversation later on when Eugene isn't here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that would make it,
Okay, and I think that when we make this roommate agreement, we should use a lot of I statements. If Sesame Street has taught us anything, it's near and far. But I statements we know psychologically are less damaging in an argument.
Yes, I agree.
So what kind of are we doing right now?
So I really want to preserve our relationship because I value you as a friend and I want us to be friends for the rest of our lives. And because you're super fun and I recognize that I have some standards that maybe not everyone wants to, not everyone else has. So that's, I appreciate how you help me stretch and grow into areas of more accommodation.
And I recognize how important people with standards are, and that it is a very necessary thing to provide that humanity continues to move forward as a polite society and not like hoodlums like myself and Eugene. So it sounds like we've got a pretty good thing going. We're going to share chores. We're going to talk about a guest policy. We're going to work on quiet time. I know you'd like the quiet time because you need it. You need to sleep and study. So did I miss anything?
I just really appreciate how we were able to discuss this with respect for one another's needs and personalities, and so I think that we've done a great job of doing that, and I am just sure that we're going to continue in that vein of respect, mutual respect.
Definitely. So I think that this has honored both of our issues and needs. I think that it created some more fair standards around cleanliness and guests.
I would agree with that. So I like that we're going to do the shared calendar because I think that really encourages the ongoing communication around this. So that neither one of us falls back into our
slovenly habits
or like super high standards. And I think that helps to set really clear commitments and accountability, and I think sharing that just with the two of us would I don't want to escalate it by bringing in any like third parties. Like I don't think we need to talk to the landlord or whoever, I don't think we need to involve anyone else in our like roommate agreement.
I agree, yeah. And open communication and sharing is caring, right?
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done. And scene. Virgo.